Mindfulness Moments. Hi, I'm Jerry. I use the pronouns he, him, they, them, and the most recently I've discovered, and on a camping trip, in fact, the pronoun per, and how wonderful it is that per is short for person. So every human being can use the pronoun per. And it's also the first three letters of perfect, which I feel is so close to my heart. Um, so today we are going to be talking about love languages. One of the love languages being words of affirmation. Words of affirmation. So, uh, love languages, first of all, I'm going to do a little introduction. If you don't know, are ways that we speak to and act towards one another. Love languages between partners, between lovers, between parent and child, between teacher and student, between participant and coordinator, between a customer and a shop customer and a shopkeeper. Uh, it's something we do towards everyone we meet in a way. So for us to be more mindful about that and for us to be more intentional with the way we express these love languages, the more you'll notice relationships around you and people around you will start to accept and receive these gifts. So the little introduction I'm going to do about love language is I'm going to briefly explain each one, and then I'm going to give you examples, many, many, many examples of words of affirmation. So, it has been said that we are all beings with an emotional tank. Our emotional tank is how much we feel loved, how much we feel pleasure, how much we feel joy. And these things that bring us these kind of positive emotions, they're going to fill up our emotional tank. And the more full our emotional tank is, the more positive we'll be, the more able bodied we'll be, the more abled we'll be, the more genuine and compassionate we can be. And the easier it is for us to work hard to reach our full potential, to be positive about our dreams, our hopes for the future. However, when a person's emotional tank starts to deplete, they're at a half tank now, they're at a quarter tank now, or their emotional tank is completely empty, then it's going to be easier to feel negative emotions, to feel darkness, to feel despair, to feel hopelessness, to feel unwanted, to feel unloved, to feel scared, anxious, angry, upset, sad. The list goes on and on and on, unfortunately. And so when an individual is feeling that way, or even when yourself is feeling that way, it is a good idea to think about your love language and what's important to you. So, how you feel the most love from other people. And it's also important to think about the love language of those around you. What makes those around you feel loved? There was my introduction about all five languages, love languages as a whole, and why they're important. Now I'm going to briefly explain and give an example of each one, and then I'll talk about words of affirmation. Okay. So, one of the love languages is quality time. This includes spending time with an individual, giving your undivided attention. No multitasking, no social media, unless it's something you're doing together. I'm tagging you in this post, or we're tweeting something together. I don't know. But other than that, when the actual quality time is based on something that's happening on your mobile device or phone or social media, then it's okay. But in most cases, put the phone down. You're giving this person your undivided attention. So this includes spending time with an individual, giving undivided attention to an individual, and by sharing genuine, authentic thoughts and feelings and listening intently. Listening intently. It includes active listening. Something about active listening is that you're not stuck in your head trying to think of what to say next. Or this happens with people who have language barriers. They're just learning English, or they don't speak the language very well, whatever language that may be. So when the person is talking to them, they're stuck in their head thinking, okay, what am I going to say next? When you're active listening, you are not doing any of that. You're present in every syllable that's coming out of their mouths, or in every word that they're signing to you or saying. You are showing attention. After they're done, then you process. Then you go back to the conga line in your head. Then you go back and you think, oh, well, I have that idea that I wanted to share. But active listening isn't about that kind of competition that we end up finding ourselves in when a friend shares a dream or a story, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that reminds me of the time when I dreamt, or when this happened to me. Active listening is not about that, and that's a huge part of quality time. Quality time also includes participating in activities that have meaning and purpose to the individual. Interacting with those around you on their level, even for mere minutes a day. Mere minutes can help fill their emotional tank. So if I know, for example, my child's primary love language is quality time, I'm a busy person. I've got videos to make. I've got students I want to tutor. I've got articles I want to write. I've got work I have to do. I'm a busy person. But knowing that this is my child's primary love language, making that time to just spend 5 minutes, heck, 3 minutes, enough time to listen to a song that they like or an artist they're interested in, enough time to just listen to them talk for 2 minutes, and then they're done what they're saying. But during those 2 minutes, or during the 3 minutes when you're listening to them, they have your undivided attention, and you're present in that moment. You're showing that. And even for just mere minutes a day, this can fill up someone's emotional tank exponentially. Exponentially. And I don't want you to ever underestimate how important that can be. Another love language is receiving gifts. We may be under the assumption that as parents or caregivers with young children, if you give them a lot of gifts, they're going to be spoiled, they're going to have expectations. It's not about that. Receiving gifts can be as simple as a note that says, I love you. Have a good day at school today, in their lunchbox or knapsack. It could be as cute as making a smiley face on their sandwich that they took to them for lunch. One of the things my mama used to do when she was still alive and around, I realized that as a little child, on days when I was off of school for a professional development day, PD day, PA day, whatever it's called, or a break from school, summer break, March break, I really missed her. I missed her so much. And from spending so much time with her on the weekends, I didn't understand why on this day, now that I don't have school, today I don't have school, but you have to go to work. So what she started doing, and this was a huge huge factor in filling up my emotional tank. The night before, the day before, she knew that I had a P8 day or PD day coming up. She would find some time in her bedroom and she would press record on the little cassette player and she would record me a message. Hi, Jai Jai, which means sun in Cantonese. I'm going to read a story for you, and I hope that you have a good day today. Listen to Grandma. Simple. It was 1 minute long. It was 2 minutes long. It didn't take her more than 5 minutes to do. But something I remember long after she's passed on, and as an adult, is receiving that gift. So think about what that means in the relationships that you have and what that can mean if that's the primary love language of someone around you. Acts of service. This is about doing something specifically for someone else. You are not multitasking. You are not distracted. You're driving your child to their soccer practice, to tutoring, to piano lessons, to karate, to taekwondo. You are performing this act of service. You're paying attention to the road, but you're also paying attention to the moment that you're sharing as you do this act of service. Whether it may be driving them somewhere, whether it may be doing the dishes for them, whether it may be housework. It's something that's going to speak volumes to them. So you're going to give your undivided attention in doing that, and you're going to make sure you do it well. What's the point in performing an act of service, such as vacuuming, wiping the bathroom tiles, cleaning the kitchen cupboards, if you're still going to leave stains on the kitchen cupboards, or hair and dust on the bathroom tiles, or if you're going to do the job unwell? So even if that individual is not with you as you're performing the act of service, perform it intentionally and be mindful and in the moment. These love languages are about being in the moment. So that was acts of service. And lastly, the last one is one that I love very much, and it speaks volumes to me, and it's the easiest way to fill my love tank. However, during the time of pandemic, during the time when we're still home and in our bubble, and in the various phases where the city's opening up or where there's still restrictions in place, it may be hard to express this final love language, but that's physical touch. It doesn't mean that you're hugging and holding and kissing and in the personal space of everyone you meet. It could just be a pat on the back. It could be a handshake. It could be a high five. However, with that being said, once again, during these unpredictable times of this pandemic and however long the aftermath of this situation will last, this love language will be a little tricky. If you're interested in expressing this and sharing this with others, I would also advise you to look at or Google what Toronto Public Health has to say about touching, sanitizing, wearing masks and gloves and things like that. Because the last thing we want to do when we share a love language is to make someone sick or make someone feel uncomfortable. So that's something that I'm going to leave you with right there. That was my introduction on each of the 5 love languages. But now we go back to words of affirmation. Words of affirmation. When I was researching on the internet and trying to compile this perfect list, I realizing I was copying things down and writing them and rewriting them and writing them and changing the order and thinking, well, this is more important, or this should be said first, or if I only have 5 minutes, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to say this, and it became too, not just tedious, but it became too daunting for me. And then I started feeling as I was writing and rewriting the list, you can see I have 5 pages here. I always write on scrap pieces of paper. I like to recycle paper. But as I was writing and rewriting this, it became evident to me that that was making me sad. I wasn't performing what I wanted to do with these words of affirmation that I was finding. I wasn't sharing them with you. I wasn't able to share them with my friends or talk about it because I was so focused and so tunnel visioned in making the actual list and trying to polish it and make it perfect so that I could share it with you. I had to take a deep breath and realize that it's not going to be perfect the way I imagine it or the way that I think it's supposed to be. But by sharing this and by honoring this time with all of you, with my undivided attention and doing it intentionally, it's going to be perfect the way it is. It's going to be perfect, and it's going to serve the purpose that it needs to serve at this point in time. And who knows, you'll watch this video a week from now, a few months from now, if the video's still up, you might watch it again in the next few days. It's going to speak to you in a different way. We never step in the same river twice. Think about that. Think about that. We never step in the same river twice. So tomorrow, the same time, you're watching the same video, you're watching me say these exact same things, something different's going to come to your mind. You're going to think of something else. And that's what being in the moment is about. That's what acknowledging these feelings and these thoughts and these emotions are about. And in fact, the sooner we acknowledge and accept these emotions, the less likely we are to let them bottle up inside, and the less likely we are to express them in forms of anger, sadness, frustration, yelling, physical acts of violence. If we accept these emotions as they come towards us, I feel anxious. So I'm going to acknowledge this anxiety. I'm going to acknowledge it like an unwelcome visitor. There's a knock on the door. Who is it? Oh, it's anxiety. Well, you know what? Come on in. Come on in. Sit down. And it's truly by feeling these emotions, anxiety, sadness, fear, anger, guilt, whatever the emotion might be, to find calm in it, to find your moment to breathe about it, to think about it, to live in it. And I hope that if you're able to do that, or once you do that, you'll find that that emotion is leaving. Once I've sat in my sadness, not self-pity, not the conga line that goes, oh, woe is me, pity for me, too bad, I can't be perfect, too bad, I'm too short, too bad, I'm too fat, too bad, I'm this, that, or the other. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about honoring the energy, and it's about being careful of not going into that cycle of negative thoughts with these negative emotions. But when you're able to actually honor that, and you say, anxiety, come on in, sit for a while. Misery loves company. And you're able to acknowledge that it's there. You're able to think with that feeling or that impression there. It's going to give you more insight into problem solving, into your own interactions with other people. It's going to give you insight, and hopefully, it's going to also give you that release. So no sooner do you say, well, welcome sadness. Hello darkness, my old friend. Do you find that it's on its way out the door again? It's done its job. Sitting with fear during COVID made me realize that I could be proactive. What I was scared about, I could be proactive. So now, in every fanny pack or backpack or things I have for me to go outside with, I'm going to carry sanitizer, extra gloves, an extra face mask. I'm going to be prepared. I sat with that feeling. And now that feeling has given me an idea, an inspiration. I'm going to act on it. I sat with sadness. I sat with sadness and I said, hello, sadness. You're here. Sit for a while. And what that sadness taught me to do that day, call up an old friend, someone I hadn't spoken to in a while. Text my aunts because my mother's no longer here to text. My father doesn't do text messages. It was hard to find that relational comfort that I needed. But my aunts and my cousins were there. Other family members were there, right? So by sitting with these examples of sitting with fear or sadness, like I've just shared with you, you're able then to think of things that's going to help you get that release. Now into words of affirmation. I appreciate you. This is very impactful when you're able to follow it up with an example. I appreciate you for thinking of me. You showed me you were thinking of me by getting me that get well card when I was sick. Right? I appreciate you for, and be specific. You want to be specific when you're giving these words of affirmation, because not only are you giving a love language to someone, you're also telling that individual what love language is important to you. Thank you for listening to me that day. You were very helpful in listening to me. So now I'm giving words of affirmation, yes, to that individual for listening to me, but I'm also telling them quality time is my primary love language. Thank you for helping me rake the leaves. Thank you for helping me with the dishes. Now there are no dishes in the sink. Now there are no dishes in the sink. Right? So not only am I giving a language of love and I'm giving words of affirmation to whoever helped me, I'm showing them that acts of service. That's important to me. So not only when you're speaking love languages, not only are you able to give a specific language of love, but in that, you're honoring your language and what's important to you. Thank you for being an amazing fill in the blank. Thank you for being an amazing problem solver. I really needed someone to help me think of a solution for work, and I tried what you said and it was amazing. Now the conflict's gone, or the problem's gone. The situation's changed. Thank you for being an amazing helper. Thank you for setting the table for me, because if I had to do it and prepare dinner and watch the children, it would have taken me another half hour, another 45 minutes before we can sit down to eat. Thank you. You showed me you're such a hard worker by example. You showed me you're such a good listener by give an example. You showed me you're such a caring friend by coming to visit me in the hospital when I had dengue fever. Coming to see me in my home after I was recovering from surgery. Asking how I was as I was recovering from surgery. So being intentional when you're sharing words of affirmation, giving concrete examples. You're going beyond. Good job. Great work. Now you're going above and beyond that. You're acknowledging what was good or great or awesome. You help ease my stress by... You help ease my stress by sitting with me when I was feeling anxious. Thank you. Once again, I'm giving words of affirmation, but I'm also telling them quality time is really important to me. I care about you. Great to hear that. We all want to hear that. but we can be more specific. I care about the way you feel. I care about your actions. This might be effective when you are interacting with an individual and they have a lot of, I don't know, maybe they're really indecisive, maybe they need some encouragement. I care about your thoughts. Go, share them. I love the way you make me feel. I love the way you make me feel when you sing with me, when we're in the car and we have the radio on and we're singing together. I love that feeling. I love the way you make me feel when you talk to me. I know that you're giving me your undivided attention, and it makes me feel like I can be a good listener. I love the way you make me feel when you watch my videos. It's encouraging. It's thoughtful. It shows that we all have the intention to be better, to be stronger. And on that note, I'm going to invite you on your own time to compile your own lists of words of affirmation. Think about things that are important, that you value in those around you, in your partner, in your roommate, in your child, in your neighbor, in your teacher, whatever that relationship is. I want you to honor it. I want you to think about it. And think of something nice to say to that person. So before our next mindfulness moments, this will be your heart work. Not homework, your heart work. Coming from your heart. You're going to practice this. And you'll notice. You're going to notice some people brush it off. Okay. Thank you, Jerry, for listening to me. You're a really good listener. Okay. You're welcome. No biggie. Or you're going to find that some people really resonate with it. Thank you, Jerry, for helping me take out the garbage. I couldn't carry those bags. Aw, it was my pleasure. I didn't mind doing it. I was taking out the recycling anyhow. You're going to start to gauge different responses from those around you, and I'm going to invite you to honor that. I'm going to invite you to be aware of that. And as you become aware of these things, and before our next video, if you think of something you want to share, if you think of something you want me to share on your behalf, if you think of a topic that I should make for mindfulness moments, then you let me know. So you can email me at jlee@the519.org. That's jlee@the519.org. And on that note, we're going to conclude our little video on words of affirmation. And we're going to conclude our segment of mindfulness moments. And I'm going to end this video by putting my hands together and to my forehead, by allowing my higher being to recognize your higher being. And I'm going to wish you peace in your heart and strength until we meet again. Mindfulness moments.